Hey, welcome back to the series that we've been doing on Red's Taylor's version. I've been going track by track to see if I can find a deeper meaning within each of the songs. Today we're on track 11, which is titled Holy Ground. Before I get started, I did want to say again, thank you for everyone that watches these videos. I couldn't imagine that we are like almost 50 videos in and you guys are still interested in watching or hearing what I have to say. So just thank you again. I really appreciate it. But yeah, let's just get started with Holy Ground.
I was reminiscing just the other day while having coffee all alone, and Lord, it took me away back to a first glance feeling on New York time. Back when you fit in my poems like a perfect rhyme. Took off faster than a green light go. Yeah, you skip the conversation when you already know. I left a note on the door with a joke we'd made, and that was the first day.
Okay. So that was a lot at once, so I need to pull up the lyrics, but I can already tell this is going to be a song that I'm going to enjoy. The first verse says, I was reminiscing just the other day while having coffee all alone, and Lord, it took me away back to a first glance feeling on New York time, back when you fit in my poems like a perfect rhyme. Took off faster than a green light go. Yeah, you skipped the conversation and you already know. I left a note on the door with a joke we made, and that was the first day. My first thoughts are took off faster than a green light go reminds me of the beginning of this album, of how she's always described maybe this relationship or relationships in general as something that is quick to start. Another lyric that I thought was interesting is back when you fit in my poems like a perfect rhyme. That's kind of making me think of someone is fitting your description perfectly. Like everyone has types, everyone has personality traits that they look for in a partner. So, like, on paper, this person was possibly hitting every mark that she was looking for in a person.
And darling, it was good. Never looking down. And right there where we stood was holy ground.
Okay, so now that we've heard, like, what the chorus or the title of the song is, it's Holy Ground. That kind of makes me think that this relationship, or maybe the birthplace of the relationship, holds such significance that she's saying that, you know, like, this is sacred to them. They'll always remember this time or this place or whatever significant about the relationship happens at the beginning, that this is something that they're going to hold very dearly to themselves. And I think that's a really sentimental way of, you know, romanticizing a relationship this early on.
Spinning like a girl in a brand new dress. We had this big wide city all to ourselves. We blocked the noise with the sound of I need you. And for the first time I had something to lose. And I guess we fell apart in the usual way. And the stories got dust on every page. But sometimes I wonder how you think about it now. And I see your face in every crowd. 'Cause darling,
Okay, I want to read that next lyrics real quick. But I do want to say that in my last video, I kind of talked about how I thought Stay, Stay, Stay was a little bit corny with its production. And I feel like maybe someone would argue that this is kind of in a similar realm. And I think the main difference is this has more engaging lyrics. Like, there's something about it that keeps me interested. And I think that shows how, like, I think Stay, Stay, Stay didn't work, but this one really does. But the next part says, spinning like a girl in a brand new dress, we had this big white city all to ourselves. We blocked the noise with the sound of I need you, and for the first time I had something to lose. And I guess we fell apart in the usual way, and the stories got dust on every page, but I sometimes wonder how you think about it now when I see your face in every crowd. So this is still talking about how the relationship did ultimately end. But at the very beginning of the relationship, they were kind of ignoring other people's opinions. I think I said this exactly in State of Grace, the first track, where it said like they're up alone in a room or something like that, and that maybe other people's opinions don't matter when they're together. Like, maybe they realize that to others judging that they're not going to work, but to them when they're alone, it just works. And I think that's kind of what she's still saying here, but just more painting a more vivid picture with it being associated with a place or a ground or, you know, whatever she's actually saying.
it was good. Never
really like those background vocals too.
Wanna dance for all that we've been through, but I don't wanna dance if I'm not dancing with you. Tonight I'm gonna dance like you were in this room, but I don't wanna dance if I'm not dancing with you. It was good.
Okay, so I assume that was the bridge, so let me read that real quick as well. This one says, tonight I'm going to dance for all that we've been through, but I don't want to dance if I'm not dancing with you. And then it just kind of repeats that again. I don't think there's much to really analyze there. It's just kind of saying that here's to us. We're not together, but here's to us. And certain activities maybe makes her think of that person, like dancing must have held a significance to them. So when she does it, she's like, man, here's to us. Like maybe they were that couple at that time when things were good.
Never looking down, and right there where we stood was holy
Man, I really enjoyed this song. I think my favorite part is her ability to paint this story for me. It's like almost like you feel like you know exactly what's going on. Like I know New York is a very easy thing to picture, but it's just like you can imagine almost like a movie at the beginning of like a romantic movie where they're having that montage of like their relationship in like 2 minutes. That's kind of exactly what the song is to me. It just kind of describes like the whirlwind of that montage, and like clearly they're not together anymore, but it's just that good 2 minutes of this is everything that I can explain is with this relationship. And I just really couldn't stop like bopping my head to it. So I'm curious to know how this song would sound like on one of her tours. I don't know if there'll be any videos of this one, but I kind of want to continue this video a little bit more and just see if there's any performances of it. So let's see what they have on there. I don't see one from tour that looks, you know, like clear quality. There's one from the Live Lounge back from 3 years ago, but it looks like she's playing it on a piano, so I don't know if that would really be like the head tapping that I'm looking for. But she has... Okay, so there's one from Austin, Texas. So let's just watch this performance. This performance looks like it's from 2017, so I guess this could almost be a comparison to the original version as well, because I would assume that she's singing it in the same way as the old version. So I actually will be looking at that as well.
I was reminiscing just the other day while Evan caught me all alone and Lord, it took me away back to a first glance feeling on New York town. Back when you fit in my bones like a perfect ride. Took off faster than a green light go. Yeah, you skipped the conversation and you already know. I left a note on the door with a joke we made, and that was the first day. And darling, it was never looking down, and right there where we stood was holy ground.
That's kind of exactly what I expected from the beat drop. It's just such a song that just you can't help but being in a good mood, and I feel like that would be an interesting stadium experience to have.
Feeling like a girl in a brand new dress. We had this big wide city all to ourselves. We brought the noise, the sound of I need you. And for the first time I had something to lose. And I guess we fell apart in the usual way. And the stores got touched on every
that felt like another rock version of We Are Never Getting Back Together. Like that line had that gnarliness to it, kind of.
Times I wonder how you think about it now, and I see your face in every crowd. Darling, it was good. Never looking down. Right there where we stood.
Yeah, her voice is very deep, actually. I don't know why that keeps surprising. I don't know why that keeps surprising me. I guess maybe because when you think of pop stars, you're not thinking of someone who has a lower voice like she does. And she sounds great, but I can definitely understand why her music kind of leans more towards acoustic, because I feel like her voice is really meant for that lower, chiller vibes, because when she does acoustic performances, they're like really incredible. But you can kind of tell that her voice is kind of at its best when it's, you know, just something simple.
So the tonight I'm gonna dance for all that we've been through, but I don't wanna dance if I'm not dancing with you. Tonight I'm gonna dance like you were in this room, but I don't wanna dance if I'm not dancing with you. It was good.
Looking back, that this album was a transition period for her into pop music, I think this is a great introduction to that, because I'm sure her pop music got even better from here, but this is really just a feel-good song, and I'm really, really enjoying it. Alright, so that'll be the end of Holy Ground, Taylor's version. As I've said it a couple times already, I really enjoyed this song. I'm also really curious to know if she plays this a lot on her tours, because I don't know if I've ever mentioned it to you guys, but I actually am going to her Eras tour with my sisters later this year, so this would be a really cool song to hear live. But yeah, thanks for watching, and tell me what you think.